The Trans-Tasman travel bubble is here. The school holidays in New Zealand are with us, and a major super typhoon just off the coast of the Philippines. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us. We've a lot to cover, and we've got the school holidays with us, so a lot of people are asking what is going on across New Zealand this week. But obviously, the Trans-Tasman bubble is also with us. People can now fly back and forth. So we'll take a look at the weather across both main countries on the map here. So let's take a look first of all at the low in the Tasman. This is heading towards New Zealand, but it is falling apart as it does so. So it's not exactly the biggest rainmaker we've seen, but it's tapping into subtropical air, so there will be some big downpours coming down later on Tuesday and into Wednesday, as you'll see in a moment as that moves through. Meanwhile, over in Australia, you've got windy westerlies around places like Melbourne and Tasmania, but further to the north, it's a light easterly flow up around northern parts of Queensland. So let's take a look at the close-up view of Tuesday, and you can see that large Tasman low, but large doesn't mean powerful. So there's a big high to the east, and that is powerful. This system is pretty weak as it moves on in. But like I say, subtropical winds coming down, the areas in green and yellow, a couple of big downpours in there as it starts to move through. So this is lunchtime Tuesday, so later on Tuesday night into the very early hours of Wednesday. Meanwhile, Adelaide, Melbourne and Hobart all have a colder, windier southerly change that's going around a big high off the screen and a big storm down here in the Southern Ocean. To Wednesday, there's not a lot going on actually around the Australian region, although a few showers just in the corner there, but it's low pressure over the North Island of New Zealand. That's sort of the main feature, with isolated showers and a bit of patchy rain clearing up as the day goes on. It shouldn't be a very overly wet day, but for some places there just might be one of those localized downpours, which will be very helpful. As we get into Thursday, it's a little bit windy and cooler over in Australia. Sou'westers blowing straight out of the Southern Ocean. They curve around into more of a westerly wind though for the South Island of New Zealand, and light winds into the North Island after, well, it hasn't really been an overly windy week to begin with, and it shouldn't be too windy as we head towards the end of the week. By Friday, those westerly winds surging across Tasmania, also now surging over the South Island. There's a bit of cold air in this area south of that blue line that could just smudge by Southland and Stewart Island. Not a lot of rain coming. A lot of people in Southland have been asking about the rain. There is not a lot coming in, but a little bit here and there. This time of the year, you get a lot of westerlies, and the Fiordland National Park blocks weather there. But the positive is that means if you go to places like Queenstown for the school holidays, the weather is not looking too bad in that part of the world. Okay, let's get into the weekend now. Saturday sees more showers around the western side of both islands in New Zealand, eastern areas, and a lot of the main populated holiday spots. Queenstown, Nelson, Taupō, Hawke's Bay, not looking too bad, although there could be a few showers coming in to some of those places, but overall fairly dry weather, and the windy sou'westers, they continue on around the southern part of Australia, otherwise fairly settled, although a few more tropical-like showers in the north. Speaking of the tropics, let's now go into the northern hemisphere, where the Philippines is right next door to this major typhoon, Typhoon Surigae. It's also known as Bising locally. So this system, the good news, as we said the other day, was going to turn around and go northwards. That is happening. The storm is also weakening. So this is the latest showing around about lunchtime Monday New Zealand time, or 8 a.m. locally in the Philippines. Manila right there. This is a monster system, but it has weakened a little bit. It was into the 920 hectopascal range over the weekend. So today, Monday, it is very close. So these areas here, definitely in the firing line. But the good news is by Tuesday, much of that storm is offshore. And while Manila is very close to it, it's on the outer edges away from the severe weather. So it is looking like the Philippines is dodging a bullet with this one, although, as I say, these eastern areas will certainly be impacted by the center of that system. The big waves it's generating, they were 58 feet yesterday, or about 18 meters, which is absolutely phenomenal. That system's moving northwards, and by Thursday, as you can see, just brushing the northern Philippines, but again, missing Manila. So that is the good news. But we wish you all the very best for those who are on this very eastern side. That is all from me. We'll see you again on Tuesday with our next weather update.